Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are learning Arabic poetry. We're going through the Diwan al Mutanabbi. And if you like this series, and if you like my other series, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and put a comment in the comments below. It just helps my videos to get to more people, inshallah. So this is a bit of a long poem, so let's try to get through this thing. He says, now he was a youngster at this time, right? So this poem is a kind of like blowing his own trumpet here. All right, so he's kind of boasting about himself, young kid. وشادن روح من يهواه في يده سيف السدود على أعلى مقلده ما اهتز منه على عضو ليبتره إلا اتقاه بترس من تجلده ذم الزمان إليه من أحبته ما ذم من بدره في حمد أحمده شمس إذا الشمس لاقته على فرس تردد النور فيها من تردده إن يقبح الحسن إلا عند طلعته فالعبد يقبح إلا عند سيده قالت عن الرفت طب نفسا فقلت لها لا يصدر الحر إلا بعد مورده لم أعرف الخير إلا مذ عرفت فتى لم يولد الجود إلا عند مولده نفس تصغر نفس الدهر من كبر لها نهى كهله في سن أمرده. So shadin is a young deer. Now deers are very beautiful, and a young deer, when it starts to grow and it's now independent of the mom, doesn't need to drink her milk, and it starts to grow horns, you call it a shadin. So shadin is this small, beautiful looking, big eyes, beautiful deer. One of the things on a side note is when Arabs, they generally want to describe the beauty of a woman, it's very common to hear them describing it with features of a deer. Eyes and the face and the way that its neck. And these kind of descriptions you'll find throughout, or what they call ghazal poetry, which is like romantic poetry. Shadin, ruh, you know what ruh is? Soul. Yahwa, hawa, yahwa, to love. Hawa, yahwi, daraba, yadribu, it means to fall. وَالنَّجْمِ إِذَا hawa, fall. Hawa, yahwa, it means to love. Fi yadihi, in his hand. Sayfu sudud, so sayf is a sword. Sudud is like to turn away from someone, to kind of ignore someone. So he says sadda, yeah, sadda wajhu. Ala a'la, a'la means the highest part. Muqallad is where you tie a sword. So if I have a sword, a strap, and the sword is tied at the neck. So where you have the neck, you call this the muqallad. And also the qalada, the necklace that a person wears, this area is called the muqallad as well. Right? So qalada comes from necklace. Taqleed, you've probably heard this word taqleed as well. So all of these words have a very similar root, which is to do with tying something around like a collar. So now in Arabic, when you have a poem and it starts off with majroor, then there's usually hidden here rubba. Rubba in Arabic means how many, so many. Rubba shadinin. How many shadins have there been? Beautiful fawns or deers. Ruhu man yahwa fi yadihi. Ruhu, the soul of the one Yahwahu who's in love with this shadid. Fi yadihi is in the hand of this shadid. How many beautiful women have there been out there? That's basically what he's saying. How many beautiful young women have there been out there where the soul of a person is in the hands of this beautiful woman? Like she's enslaved him. وَشَادِنٍ كَم مِّن شَادِنٍ رُوحُ مَنْ يَحْوَاهُ, the soul of the one who's infatuated in love with it. في يده is in the hand of this shadid. Now obviously talking about a deer and it's masculine, but this is something that they use for love and poetry. سيف الصدود على أعلى مقلده. Saif, the sword of turning away. So turning away does not have a sword. The sword of turning away is a figurative statement. It's like saying she turns away, like you go up to her, oh, I love you, please listen to me, look at me, and she turns away. Right? She turns this way, turns that way. Sayfu sudu, the sword of her turning away, ala a'la muqalladihi, is on the top, Yeah, سيف السدود على أعلى مقلده. The sword is on the top of where he puts his muqallad. As in, the sword is right at the neck. She's gonna destroy him. Right? She's gonna take off his head. سيف السدود. That's how, what's the word for it? The sword of cold rejection. That's a good one. Sayfu Sudud. So Sudud is like rejection. This guy's infatuated with the woman. He's trying to go and trying to get her to accept him, and she's like turning away. No, I don't want to know you. Doesn't answer the calls. Doesn't look at him. He calls this the Sayf as-Sudud. The cold rejection, which is like a sword. That's a good way of looking at it. Mahtaz. So Sayf as-Sududi ala a'la muqalladi. You can imagine his head there. Her rejections are like a sharp sword on his neck, just like the guillotine. ما اهتز منه على عضو ليبتره. اهتز يهتز means to move, to shake. هز. Yeah. وهزي إليك بجذع النخل. Let me know in the comments what that ayah means. هزي إليك بجذع النخل. So اهتز عرش الرحمن لموت سعد. This is a famous hadith. When Sa'd ibn Mu'az passed away, the Prophet ﷺ said, the arsh of ar-Rahman اهتز, to shake. ما اهتز منه. It did not move, it did not shake from its position. Ala udwin, upon a limb, as in the limb is the neck. Liyabturahu, in order for him, the shadin, the beloved, to batara. Batara means to cut off. Yeah, batara. Abtara yubtiru ibtar, or batara yabturu. Now, do you know in the Quran where this word comes? I'll give you a clue. It's one of the last surahs of the Quran. Right? Let me know in the comments if you know this one. Batara, batir, and battar. Battar used to be Saifun Battarun. This was a sword that used to cut time and time again. They used to call it a Saifun Battar, like a samurai sword, or one of those very, very sharp, powerful swords. Mahtazza minhu, it did not move from his udu, liyabturahu, and he did it so that he could take off the head of this crazy, passionate lover. Poor guy. إلا التقى. This is a little mistake. This not supposed to be kasra. It's hamza wasal. إلا التقاه بترس, except that he, the passionate one, shielded himself. اتقاه بترس, with a shield. Turs is a shield. Atras. Yeah. So turs min tajalludihi. So from his tajallud. Right, so his tajallud. Jalad, jild, it means like skin. Tajallada is to have thick skin, right, and to be patient, enduring. Illa taqahu bitursin min tajallud. Now, I found some commentators actually say, like Al-Ma'arri, he says it's also one riwayah, takhalludihi. Yeah, takhalludihi. So, I mean, tajallud seems to be the most common one. So, mahtazza minhu, the sword did not move from his limb, in order that the beloved cuts off, decapitates the lover. Illa taqah, except that the lover, ittaqahu, shielded. Ittaqa is from the word taqwa, wiqaya, shield. Shielded himself biturs, with a shield that's made from endurance. Again, metaphorical, right? Endurance, which is like a shield, just like the sudud, which is like a safe. ذم الزمان إليه من أحبته. ذم الزمان, time itself, life itself, zaman. Time itself, like Arab used to use the word zaman and dahar to mean life. Life itself has started to complain, send complaints, ilayhi. So when you have the word ila, then the dham actually means that the criticisms, dhamma yadhummu, right? Dhamim, madhmoom, is something which is being like sent to them. So dhamma zamanu. So time sent complaints to him, to the beloved, the shadin, min ahibbatihi, from his beloved, from the beloved ones, loved ones. So even the loved ones began to say, oh, come on, yar. What's this? What's going on here? How come you're treating him like this? How come you got this, cold, you're showing him the cold shoulder or rejection, and you're putting it onto his neck, and you're about to Poor guy, what has he done? He just loves you. ذم الزمان إليه من أحبته. Time has sent many complaints. من أحبته, from his beloved. ما ذم من بدره. Now this ma, you can treat it as ma nafi. So then that would be ما ذم من بدره. He did not criticize. That he did not criticize his full moon. And the full moon here would be in reference to a beloved. Arabs used to use, like, call their beloved, oh, you're my full moon, you are. Because moons are very nice and beloveds are very nice. And so two put together makes him a Badr. So not the Battle of Badr, that's a location. Badr means a full moon in Arabic. So the moon starts off as a crescent, hilal, and then it starts to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Eventually on the 14th night, it becomes a full moon, Badr. Yeah, so ما ذم من بدره في حمده. So he did not criticize min badrihi, from his beloved, fi hamdi ahmadihi, in the praise of his Ahmad. So his Ahmad here can be ism tafdil, the most praised, or Ahmad over here can actually be the name of Mutanabbi. Mutanabbi's real name is actually Ahmad. Right? So he's kind of saying ma dhamma min badrihi. He did not criticize his Badr. Fi hamdi, in regards to praise of Ahmad. Yeah, so in other words, he did, so she is dispraising, so the complaints and the dispraise is coming from the people about her. As for him, he is never heard to be criticizing his beloved, right? Because this is the praise of Ahmad. By him not dispraising, it's as though he is now the praised one. Blowing his trumpet again. Or ma dhamma, or that which dhamma, he criticized from his beloved. Yeah. Ma dhamma min badrihi. That criticism which came from his Badr. Meaning, so let's say, for example, I love a woman, and this woman, she now criticizes me. Yeah. So let's say I love a woman, her name is Fatima. I would say, Ma dhamma min Fatima fi hamdi liaqat. Ma dhamma min Fatima fi hamdi liaqat. Right. So that which that which Fatima dispraised, fi hamdi Ahmad, in regards to the praise of Ahmad, the things that I am deserved to be praised about, she's going around and dispraising me. Now this poem, actually this couplet, is a very difficult one to try and get your head around. I've tried to look into the different commentaries and try to figure out, and even they're saying, like, we haven't really come to a conclusion exactly what he actually meant. But it seems as though what he's saying is that she has given him such a cold rejection that everything in life is telling her that you're doing wrong, dispraising her. And Ahmad does not deserve this. The way you're dispraising Ahmad, he does not deserve this. He's Ahmadis. Anyway, Shamsun idha shamsu laqat ala farasin. Let me tell you about this Ahmad. Let me tell you about Mutanabbi. He is a sun. He is a sun. Oof, this big ball of fire in the sky. Idha shamsu laqathu. When the real sun meets him. This guy is such a sun. When you, in Arabic, when you describe someone as a sun, S-U-N, you're basically describing it as the best thing in the world, right? So he is the Shams, إِذَا الشَّمْسُ لَاقَتْهُ, such that when the normal sun comes to visit him, comes to meet him, laqa yulaqi mulaqat, to me, ala farasin, whilst he is on a faras. So ala faras would be like the hal describing the Shams. Shamsun إِذَا الشَّمْسُ لَاقَتْهُ ala farasin, on a horse. Yeah. تردد النور فيها. Now, ala faras, you can take it back to the normal sun. In that case, we would translate it as, he is such a sun, when the normal sun comes to meet him on a horse, comes riding on a horse to come and meet him, تردد النور فيها من تردده. Right, so the nur fiha, in it, in the sun, the real sun, the nur inside of it, taraddada, it begins to shake, it begins to flicker. Taraddad means to flicker in hesitation. Taraddada nuru fiha. The nur inside the sun is like you're lighting a candle And as you're lighting, it starts to flicker like that. Then the sun gets its energy from him. Oh, kya baat. Now this, I remember I told you before, Mutanabbi's poetry is like sounds as though there's a very shirky kind of undertone there, but that's not it. It's just the way poems are. Poems has so much exaggeration in there. Sometimes you think that they are elevating the individuals to the level of a god. Taraddada nuru fiha, inside of it, inside the sun, the nur begins to taraddad, like shake around, hesitantly flicker, min taraddudihi, because of his shaking. Now, because of his shaking, what I would say is this: ala faras makes more sense if you make it back to him. So when he's riding on a horse in the battlefield, and the sun comes up and sees him, the sun begins to get excited and begins to flicker with joy and happiness because of his, riding, like moving around, taraddudihi. Now, some have even said that this is like when he's in a battlefield, this is describing how he's with his army and fighting against the army, that sparks begin to emerge, right? Anyway, so we'll take that meaning then. So Shamsun, he is such a sun that laqat, إذا الشمس لاقته, when the real sun meets him, ala farasin, on a horse, taraddada nur, the nur begins to flicker with enjoyment and hesitation, min taraddudihi, because of his movements. Taraddada is from the word radda yaruddu. إن يقبح الحسن إلا عند طلعته. So in this case could mean nafi. So the qubh does not. The qubh does not. The husn, beauty does not become ugly except in the tal'atihi, when he rises. Come on, yeah, look at this poetry. So he's talking about who? He's talking about Ahmad. This is Ahmad. Yeah. Now it can be talking about Ahmad, and it can also be talking about the Shadin as well. But we're going to make it about Ahmad here. He's praising himself. So إن يقبح الحسن إلا عند, except in his طلعة. طلعة يطلع, it means to appear, emerge. Except when he emerges. So when he emerges, that's when everything beautiful looks ugly. Because beauty is subjective, or it's relevant. Yeah, or relative, sorry. So it's relative. So it's relative to what's around. So he's saying everything that's beautiful in the world stays beautiful until he pops his head up. Once he appears, everything seems ugly. Or the other one is if we make in shartiya. If can make sense, and that's why over here we can make this sakin. إن يقبح الحسن, if husn becomes ugly, except in the طلعته, except when he, فالعبد يقبح, then in that case a slave, abd, يقبح, becomes ugly, إلا عند سيده, except when his sayyid, when his master appears. Meaning a slave could be beautiful, but once the master appears, the master is always more beautiful than the slave. So he's trying to say basically Ahmad is considered to be the master over here. So he's like the relationship of a master with his slaves when it comes to all the people. That's how superior he is. Amazing, huh? إن يقبح الحسن, husn becomes qabih, إلا عند طلعته, except when he appears. And like I said, if you treat it as nafi, إن يقبح الحسن فالعبد يقبح إلا عند سيده. قالت, she said. Who is she now? All of a sudden the she is mentioned. Might be a reference to Shadin. Shadin was talking about a deer all that time, representing the woman, and now all of a sudden he's gone to the real thing now, the woman. قالت عن الرفد. Or this could just be like a fictitious third person here, right? A narrator. قالت, she said, عن الرفد. Rift, rafada, means something that comes to you, a gift, hiba. قالت عن الرفد. So she says, قالت, she said, عن الرفد, regarding gifts. So regarding gifts, meaning, could mean because he's so generous, he gives gifts to people, right? He gives gifts to people. طب نفسا. So طاب يطيب, it means to become content. It means also to be nice as well. Nafsan means person. Now this Arabic word, طاب نفسا, nafs is actually tamyiz, right? So you might say طاب زيد نفسا. Zayd became pleased himself, which literally means طابت نفس زيد. Zayd's heart, Zayd's soul became content and happy. Yeah. So tib nafsan, just be happy with yourself, she's saying. Tib nafsan literally means be happy self. Be happy self. Be happy with yourself. Content. Leave it alone. Don't give gifts out too much to people. فقلت لها, I said to her, لا يصدر الحر. A free person does not go to a location. صدر يصدر. A free person is, in Arabic, when you say free person, it's in reference to like someone who is complete, perfect in their status in society. Opposite of slave. Because a slave is considered deficient. So you would say, this is not right for a free person, meaning someone who has all of the rights. لا يستر الحر, a fully free person like me, does not go to a place إلا بعد مورده. Sorry, لا يستر الحر. صدر يستر means to leave a place, leave, not go to. Yeah, صدر means to leave. لا يستر الحر, a free person does not depart from a place, does not leave a place. إلا بعد مورده, and except after ورد يرد, مورد. So mawrid here could be the masdar mimi, mawrid. And it could also be maybe ظرف as well. Ism ظرف, the place where the wurud, warada, it means when animals go to drink water from a place. ولما ورد ماء مدين. So لا يستر الحر. Wait a minute, excuse me, madam. You're saying to me, don't be generous to people. I'm sorry, I can't do that because I'm a free person. لا يستر الحر. A free person does not leave a place except after they have reached their destination. I have to get to my destination. I have to give people gifts, and only then can I stop giving them. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to listen to your advice. لا أعرف الخير إلا مذ عرفت فتى. لم أعرف الخير. I have not recognized khair, goodness, إلا مذ عرفت فتى, except since. Mudh is another version of mundh. عرفت فتى, I recognized a young man. لم يولد الجود, who is such a young man, such an amazing man, that Jude, generosity, was not born, was not given life. Generosity, poor generosity. So this is abstract. Generosity was not given birth except in the Mawlidi, except when he was born. Ay, kya baat. When Mutanabbi was born, that's when generosity came on the scene. So he's basically trying to say to the lady, listen, I know you're rejecting him, yeah, but you don't know who you're rejecting. This guy, the sun gets light from him. This guy, when he comes out, all the beautiful people in the world become ugly when he comes out. This guy can't stop giving gifts to people because he's got the quality of perfection in status. And such that generosity was born the day he was born. Before that, there was no generosity on earth. Illa in the mawlid. Mawlid, walada yalidu, it means the birth. Nafsun tusaghiru nafs al-dahri min kibr. He's got such a nafs, such a being, such a soul. This word nafs is a very versatile word. Nafsun, he possesses such a being. Tusaghiru nafs al-dahr. He belittles, he makes the nafs of the dahr, the being of dahr. Again, he's personifying this. He's saying dahr is like zaman. I'm Liaquat Zaman. So he's saying basically life, if life had a soul, this guy would put life to shame. He would make life look as though it was nothing. Saghir. Tusaghir. Nafsun is feminine. Nafsun tusaghir, make small. Nafs al-dahri, the nafs of life. Min kibarin, from greatness. In other words, he is considered so great that he makes life look small. Nafsun, he has such a nafs which is so superior. To saghir, which belittles nafs al-dahr, min kibarin, for kibr, of kibr. Laha nuha kahlihi fi sinni amradihi. So laha, this nafs possesses. Nuha. Nuha in Arabic means, it means intellect. Yeah. Li'ulin nuha. The Quran says, ulin nuha. So nuha, because your aqal, your intellect, stops you from doing bad. Nahi. It does nahi. Laha nuhan. His nafs possesses a nuhan, an intellect. The intellect of nuha mudaf kahlihi, of him in mature age. So kahal is when you're in a mature age. So he possesses the nafs. His nafs possesses an intellect, which is the intellect of a mature person, fi sinni amradihi, in the age of him being adolescent. Amrad means when the beard hasn't grown yet. Yeah. Murdan. Amrad. So, in other words, when his beard hadn't even grown, this guy possessed the intellect of an adult. Oh, Shadin, please. Fatima, please give him a chance, man. Give this guy a chance. What do you guys say? This, I mean, if a CV came to you, would you be ready to marry this guy? He's saying it by himself, by the way. So this is what poets do. Yeah, it's a very nice and funny poem as well, in a way. And he said this poem when he was young, apparently, right? So anyway, so there are lots of things in this poem that I really like. I mean, the way that he described the sudu, this coldness, rejection, as a sword on his neck, and it's just waiting to cut it. But the only thing protecting him is his endurance. He keeps on going. He doesn't give up. She rejects him once. He goes. He rejects him twice. He's a tough guy. And then even life and everything, Dhamma Zaman, everyone is just saying, look, you're doing wrong to this Ahmad guy. And who is this Ahmad guy? Shamsun idha shamsu laqatu ala farasin. Oy, kya baat. Anyway, guys. طيب يقول شاد وشادن يعني رب شادن كم من شاد يعني ظبية صغيرة من يهواه في يده من يحبه الذي يحبه في يد هذا الشادن في يد هذه الظبية يعني الذي يعشق المرأة روحه في أصابع بكف بهذه المرأة سيف السدود على أعلى مقلده فالسيف رفضها له يعني رفضها له كالسيف على أعلى مقلده على أعلى عنقه هي مستعدة لتقطع عنقه بإنكارها وردها لطلبه ما اهتز منه على عضو ليبتره يعني ما تحرك على عضو على جسمه لكي تقطع عنقه وتخلصه إلا اتقاه ولكن عنده تقوى ليس تقوى يعني عنده يعني الاتقاء يعني المحافظة بترس من تجلده تجلد والتصبر إلى حد أنه مثل الترس يعني مثل الترس الذي يمنع وقع السيف يعني عندما يكون إنسان في الميدان الحرب والعدو يأتي بالسيف فالرجل يكون عنده ترس أيضا يسمى بجنة أيضا الجنة ميجن ذم الزمان إليه من أحبته حتى الزمان حتى الحياة تذم يعني تقول تلوم إليه من أحبته من الأحبة ما ذم يعني لماذا تفعلين هذا؟ هذا شيء ليس بجيد ما ذم من بدره الذي ذم هو من بدره من حبيبه في حمد أحمده بالنسبة إلى ثناء أبو طيب المتنبي يعني يقول أن الزمان وجميع الناس كلهم يذمون هذه المعشوقة ويقولون لماذا تذم الحبيب وهو أحمد المتنبي من هو أحمد المتنبي؟ شمس هو مثل الشمس إذا الشمس لاقته يعني إذا كان الرجل خارج في الميدان وطلع الشمس والتقى معه على فرس وهو يركب الفرس الحصان تردد النور يعني النور من المتنبي تنتقل إلى الشمس والشمس تشعل بالنار وبالنور يضيء فيها النور تردد النور فيها يعني في الشمس يضيء النور من تردده بسبب تردد المتنبي، بسبب تحرك المتنبي. يعني كأنه كهرباء انتقل من متنبي إلى الشمس، فالشمس يعني أدون والمتنبي يعني أرفع درجة منه. إن يقبح الحسن إلا عند طلعته، يعني لا يصبح الحسن قبيحا إلا إذا ظهر متنبي أحمد متنبي، إذا طلع فالعبد يقبح، فالعبد يقبح يكون قبيح إلا عند سيده. يعني العبد لا يكون قبيح، يعني العبد يكون جميل ما دام السيد والمولى غير حاضر عنده. إذا حضر المولى فالعبد يصبح يعني أدون منه، يصبح قبيحا، لأن السيد طبعا يكون يعني أرفع منه درجة. قالت عن الرفت، فقالت امرأة ما عن الرفت بالنسبة إلى إنفاقه على الفقراء والناس والهبات والصلات والهدايا. قالت عن الرفت عن الهبات: طب نفسا، دعه، خليه، ما تفعل، اتركه، يعني هذا شيء غير جيد، ما تنفق على كل واحد. قلت لها، أنا أجبتها: لا يستر الحر إلا بعد مورده، يعني الرجل الحر الكاملا المتوفر فيه الصفات الإنسان، الرجل لا يرجع إلى بيته إلا بعد مورده، إلا بعد بلوغه ووصوله إلى هدفه مقصده. يعني إذا ما وصل إلى المقصد ما يرجع إلى البيت. هكذا شأن الرجل القوي. لم أعرف الخير. يعني هو يقول يعني كأن قارئ هذا الشعر هو رجل آخر، ولكن هو المتنبي نفسه. لم أعرف الخير يا شباب، يا جماعة، لم أعرف الخير إلا منذ عرفت فترة. يعني والله أنا ما عرفت أي شيء فيه خير في حياتي إلا بعد ما عرفت المتنبي. لم يولد الجود، يعني حتى السخاء والجود لم يأتي على وجه الأرض، يعني لم يظهر على وجه الأرض في الكون إلا عند مولد، إلا عندما ولد المتنبي. يا للعجب. يعني ما رأيكم في هذا؟ يعني كما قلت من قبل فيه شائبة من شرك ولكن لا نسمي هذا شرك، لأن الشعر يعني أساسها المبالغة، أساسها فيه كلام مبالغ جدا. نفس تصغر نفس الدهر، يعني هذا الفتى يملك نفس تصغر هذا النفس، تذلل نفس الحياة دهر من كبر جسمه مع أنه ولد. لها نهى، وهذه النفس لها نهى كهله، يعني لا يملك عقل متوفر، يعني عقل عجيب غريب جدا، كأنه قد بلغ إلى عمر الكهل. يعني الرجل شاب، رجل يعني قوي القامة في سن أمرده، وهو ما زال في سن الصغر الأمرد الذي لا ينبت له شعر على وجهه. طيب ما رأيكم في هذا الشعر؟ هل أعجبكم هذا الشعر؟ اكتب لي في التعليقات. جزاك الله خير guys for watching this video. I know it's very long. It's a bit and you know, thank you for watching it all the way to the end. I know sometimes people watch the beginning of it and then they don't get time to watch the rest of it. Thank you. Share my videos guys with others. And if you want to support my channel, you can become Patreon. You can see the symbol on the screen. It just basically means you're going to support my channel on a monthly basis. Helps my channel to grow as well. I will see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.